Yo, what's happening, people? Welcome to Saeed TV. Apologies for the lateness, people. I'm just gonna let Nuruddin explain, and for me, you know what I mean. Apologies to the people who were out extremely late. You know what I mean. Nuruddin, you want to explain it to the people before we get serious?
Yo, man got sun lick up by the sun. Got sunstroke, man. I got sunstroked.
I knew it. I said, no, he's taking a nap.
Out in the sun for too
Nuruddin,
much. Glazers stressed me out, and then I sat out in the sun for too much.
We saying
You
it's
know,
hot in Manchester, yeah?
boom. It's Ramadan. You know what I mean? Next minute,
absolutely, man,
trust me.
absolutely. But we'll see if Nuruddin shows his face in a little bit. You know, and we'll give him time and whatnot. I've had issues with my lighting, everything and whatnot, but we're here. You know what I'm saying to you, but I'm gonna start with you, Musa, man. Manchester United have opted for the Super League. You know what I mean? It's a crazy one. Last night it all went into a kind of a disaster. Last night was a
Meltdown.
meltdown on Twitter, meltdown
Meltdown.
everywhere. You know what I mean? But this is it, no, and then Musa, man. United have opted for the Super League, and basically what they've said to the fans is, "We don't care about you." You know what I mean? And in reality, bye bye, mate. You know we're gonna do our thing. Are you gonna join us? Basically, what do you make of it? What do you make of the actual craziness that's happened, man?
Yeah, man. I've just wanted to get my head around what the proposal is and what is really happening here. And the only reason is because I'm old enough to remember when the Premier League formed and the players wanted to go on strike, and the money that was being put to the new Premier League clubs, and also that the big clubs in the first division at the time, wanted to
Yeah,
get more revenue in for their football and their matches, and the other clubs that were much smaller were worried again. So seeing this happening again, to me, I just wanted to know what it meant and what was really going on, because I just feel like if we look at football as a whole and the direction it's been going in, and we look at the UEFA Champions League, and in terms of how they've changed up their group stages, their matches, and the fact that they also want to release an announcement in terms of changing up what they want to do, I feel like some of the teams are trying to claw back power from UEFA, but at the same time, they're having a battle within their domestic leagues in terms of how that looks like. And I just feel like the fan has been at the bottom of the food chain for a very long
you know who
time.
that is? You know who that is? You
Who's
know who
that?
that is, people? You know who that is?
Who's that? Credit
That's
Bellingham.
that's no, that's my United kind of call me.
What are they saying?
I don't know, mate. They're probably asking me, "Are you ready to pay for your season ticket now?" They're probably
And that's the
asking,
problem.
they said, you know what I mean, people. This is what we're dealing with, people. That is literally Man United's number right there. It's saved as Man United,
And they're calling.
and they're calling people, man. You know what I mean? This is what they're trying to
That's
do,
the
man.
reality. And this
They're
is what
trying
I'm
to get
trying to
your
say,
money.
though. They are, man. And I just feel like, we have to subscribe to 3 different networks to be able to follow our club. 3 different networks. We have to be on Amazon, BT, Sky Sports just to follow our club. Some of us are paying the best part of £100 a month to
Mm,
watch their club throughout a whole season. And then even then, there are games that are not licensed to the UK that you can only watch in if you have that Arab TV satellite or something like that, because they're just not licensed to
yeah,
the UK. So I feel like, when has the fan ever been looked after by even this Premier League structure that we're talking about, and even the UEFA structure? I think, when has that ever been? When have we ever been looked after? We haven't. So I just feel like they just follow it. They've just taken it to an extreme, and then everyone's going crazy. But I've been calling for a long time. The Premier League need to create their own Netflix station for the Premier League, where everyone pays around £10 a month worldwide, and it will blow their revenue through the roofs if they had their own platform like that, rather than all of us have to be signing up here. So I just feel like we're never ever looked after as fans, and they know
never,
that as
never.
fans, yeah, they know as fans we will go to the ends to support our team. But I feel like this one, the fans are saying that enough is enough. But really, if the Premier League, if the Super League schedule is released because they want to start in August.
August, people.
Yeah. So if
As
they
soon as
release the
August.
schedule and it shows United have got Madrid on a Wednesday, then we got AC on this day, and with the Premier League games, are the fans going to go as crazy as they're saying? Are
Exactly.
they? Because what
No.
I'm getting from this Super League is that they're going to be more organized than everyone else. They're going to have their own Netflix. You're not going to have to
Netflix,
chase. Yeah,
Amazon
you're
is
not going to.
they're going to be their TV where kind of revenue or whatnot. They're going to get Amazon. Who's Amazon? Who's American caller? He's American guy. What's his name again? I forgot his name, but
Yeah,
he
yeah, I'm
owns
with you.
Amazon. You know what I mean? We've got Zayn Miase. Go stuff Arsenal. I've stopped supporting them. Yo, big up Zayn, man. But it's the reality, man. I'm just gonna go up to Nuruddin, man. This morning, I thought it was a dream. I thought it was a nightmare, man. I thought, yo, man, someone wake me up. You know what I mean, Nuruddin? And in reality, mate, just how big is this? Just for the people, right? Yeah, there we had to show his face there. Come on. You know what I mean? just for the context here, just explain what the club have done to Manchester United. Just explain to the people, because there's a lot of young viewers out here who are confused. Someone said to me, you know, I think there's some people that are, you know what, by the way, people, make sure you look out for your mental health, people. You know what I mean? Football is a very, very emotional support. So whoever's out there, look after yourself, you know what I mean? And you will get through this. Believe me, you will get through this. You know, life moves on, but we will move on. No, they just explain to the context of what is going on at Man United at the minute right now. And that Ed Woodward is just, for me, it's crazy what he's done now. But go on, educate them. You're on mute.
So basically, just to give a bit of context, Ed Woodward was an investment banker at JB Morgan's. The people
Was he actually?
him. Literally, he was an investment banker at JB Morgan's.
Wow.
JB Morgan's one of the biggest banks in the world. It's mainly runs out of. It's got obviously headquarters everywhere, you know what I mean. But it's New York mainly. JB Morgan's one of the big banks that was involved in a financial crash over a decade and a half ago. I mean, almost like 2 decades ago, almost, or maybe a decade and a half ago. I think it was 2008, 2009 when the financial crash happened. Due to a lot of money, a lot of people been giving loans to buy houses, which they couldn't really afford to pay for. But that's capitalism for you, innit? That's the crony capitalism for you, innit? Yeah. And obviously they got bailed out. The banks got bailed out here in Britain and in America. You know, it was the crisis was heavy. But anyway, I'm just trying to give a background what the banking system, how it works in terms of they don't care about people. They're not asses. Everything is about what for themselves and how many million they can make. There are a lot of films out there. There are a lot of documentaries out there. Any of you want to educate yourselves about. But anyway, JB Morgan was one of the clubs that helped to take over Man United. I mean, I think the money that the Glazer, the father of the Glazers got, I think the Glazers' father put up 200 million. You know, he put up 200 million and the rest they borrow from the banks. So this is a Manchester United plan. This is coming from the Glazers. The Glazers, because in America, they have a system where, for example, the NBA and the NFL, where nobody goes down. Nobody gets relegated. Nobody comes up. They all call it franchise. So this is the franchisation, if that's a word, I'm going to make it now, the franchisation of European elite football. This is what the Americans have done. And hence why Joe Glazer is one of the vice executive founding these 12 clubs. I'm so happy that the Germans have said no. Bayern Munich, God, have said no. Dortmund have come out.
Bayern Munich are on the edge, though. They were looking like it, but apparently they came out today out of nowhere. Does it not surprise? Look at a team like Schalke out of nowhere, nearly getting relegated. I think they are about to get relegated, and they're joining the Super League. Just goes to show the kind of feeling that this Super League is giving us is very much greed. And Man United apparently today are coming out with, this is baffling for me, by the way. They've today said, that Man United want to stay in the Premier League with the Super League fixtures scheduled for the midweek. If the Super League fixtures is unable to start in time for next season, United would want to compete in the Champions League. I mean, the old saying of, you know what I mean, having your cake and eating it.
Yeah, of course. I mean, listen, that's what they're about. So just let me finish. So this system they want to set up It's basically pure financial. Apparently they're getting about at least 400 million each. JB Morgan's putting up the money. There are a couple of TV companies that are one in America. I think Amazon is one of them, and another one is in Saudi Arabia, based in Saudi Arabia, and they're gonna front it. But let me give you further little bit more details on what's gonna happen. Basically, everything is about the Super League. So if this goes ahead and the Premier League and everybody accepts, Man United would have to play a weakened team in the Premier League and go and play full strength teams within the Super League. The owners have come out and said this is about the financial future of the clubs. The game, I'm talking about the welfare of the game, is secondary. And they've come out and specifically said that. Now, all of these 6 clubs, especially in the UK, in their boardrooms, a lot of the people who don't have the power in their boardrooms disagree with it. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to the owners. So it'd be very interesting to see what's going to happen. Now, me and you said we're going to come to it, but we're thinking about a protest. I've been putting the feelers out there, and at the moment, there's no, everybody's playing the waiting game. There is no appetite to protest as yet. But that just shows you how much apathetic, how much powerless people feel. People are just going to accept everything. I'm afraid to say this ain't just about football, but this is about different walks of life.
Absolutely.
But people feel no power. They can't do anything because people are making decisions on their behalf. And at the end of the day, with this Super League, good night and goodbye and good night Vienna to 150 years of football as we know it. And that meaning that pyramid system where there's 3 in the most leagues in Europe, there's 3-4 divisions where people have got this incentive to come up and fight for things. That there'll be no Granada again if this goes ahead. And basically they're gonna have 15 founding clubs and 5 clubs that go open. So 15 will never get relegated.
Never get relegated. Go up or down. And that's the problem for me.
Can go up and down to join the 20. And it is absolutely stink, and it is shambles. And every football fan out there should be disgraced. 1 or 2 of them, I've had to tell them, I have to give them the F off because they're telling me, oh, what does that mean? We'll have to see what this looks like. If you're a true football fan, basically, if you support United, so Matt Busby, I just want to give a bit of historical context. Manchester United players died playing in the European Cup. Died, gave their life. Manchester United are what they are because of what happened. We rose from the ashes to become successful. We were the first English team to ever win the Champions League, what is now called a Champions League, the old European Cup. Manchester United is synonymous with playing in European competition. No Super League, playing in European competition. Manchester United, history is there. Liverpool, shame on Liverpool. Shame on Arsenal. Like Gary Neville said, shame on those. Shame on us. But already, Liverpool fans have put a banner outside their stadium saying no to Super League. Well, Man United fans, like that. And everybody's watching everybody to see who protests. But if it takes me and Saeed to go there, just us two, I don't care how he looks to the world, we'll do it.
I'm just going to read these super chats out. Anyone who thinks that this is by Gareth, big up to Gareth, by the way. Anyone who thinks this is an attempt for midweek competition is fooling themselves. It is an attempt by American billionaires to take over European football. We've got another super chat here from Eddie Machumbo. He goes, Glazers, Kroenke are even top tier owners in America. There's many better. These guys rob the beautiful game to their own pockets. We've got Flawless in the building. Yeah, man's going on to Pi Radio, man's blacked out, man. Yo, he's trying to, you know what I mean? Like, he's trying to get the Glazers there. You're trying to wrap them up, bro. What you say, Flawless? You know what I mean? You're on your way down there to wrap them up, bro. What you saying?
Yo, I'm good in it. Yo, if you man are on that, let's do it. I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? And FD's man, I'm with it. And I'm surprised you're not out by the protest, fam. You know what I'm saying? I know man are protesting outside on feet.
Yo, listen, it's gonna happen, bro. I'm telling you right now, man. I'm just gonna get you in there, Flawless, 1 second. Musa, man. When you realize the American owners are what they stand for, man, you know what I mean? Should have warning signs or should have been there, man. You know, all the battles we had, man. Ollie, this, players, that.
Yeah, my thing is that
we've been fighting the lost cause, Musa, man.
100%, man. I feel like if the Premier League and the leagues alike are the crown jewels of sports entertainment, we're talking about over 4 billion football fans around the world watching these major leagues. Yeah. And I feel like we've allowed a door to be open, and we haven't taken full advantage of it. We've allowed people to see gaps in the market, because I feel like Premier League teams have been talking about, you know, the restructure of football for a very long time. But I think we've allowed for these opportunities to be able to do it. There's a reason they can't do it in Germany, or there's a reason they found it difficult to entice German football teams, because of the system that they have over there. I feel like we've just allowed ourselves, you know, as the Premier League, we've allowed and have left doors open for such moves to be able to be possible. And that was even with the way that, you know, the club, our club, was able to be bought off debt. You know what I'm saying? The jewel of Premier League football was allowed to become, and man just financed it. Man just went and financed Manchester United. Like, the reality of that shows you, you know, it's always been about money. And that's my thing. As bad as this is, I just can't handle the double standards of the Premier League owners, you know, because they've always been about money. They've sold the rights to Premier League football to 3 different satellite stations. Some of us are paying nearly £100 a month just to follow our.
Well, Musa, they tried to tell us to pay £15 a game.
£15 a game in COVID. This is what I'm saying. So then now they're using the fans and our emotions, you know, the love that we have for our club, to defend them over money. But for me, it's just like billionaires squabbling about this wonderful game called football and the best way for it to be played. But at the end of the day, the fans suffer. But saying that again, you know, as much as, you know, I'm against what's happening, but the problem is this new Super League, because they have so much money, they're able to create a product that we all love and make it a more affordable to us to watch. Whereas those who have had it in their hands have refused to adapt. Because why doesn't the Premier League have its own Netflix? Exactly. Why doesn't it have its own system where we can all pay £10 a month to watch it, and it has all the games since '92 to now, documentaries about the Premier League, you know, interviews about players? Why doesn't it have its own station where we could all pay a tenner? And if everyone's paying, if we're talking about the millions of football fans who watch the Premier League paying $9.99 a month, it's more money than they get. It's more money than they're getting paid now from all these stations. Make it easy for the fans, but they won't do that. They won't. And then things like this happen, and who's going to save the Premier League? It's going to be the fans and the uproar. We're the only ones really who can stop this.
I want it to crash all. I want it to crash. And you know what?
Let me ask you a question, Lodi.
I said it for years, and people said to me, argue with me, and people laughed at me. I'd rather go to 3rd division, 4th division to get rid of the game.
That's what I was going to say to you. Would you do that? You used to say that to me all the time, man. Every single time you told me. Let's get relegated. Parasites.
They have no love for this club. No love. It's all just about, it is honestly all about the billionaire. They want to get more richer. And obviously, because of the COVID, before COVID, apparently the Premier League Big Six, whatever they call them, lost a lot of money. And already the Premier League has given into this Big Six. It's almost a Frankenstein monster. The monster's got so big, and everybody's trying to stop the monster now. And it shows you there, there's a comment on the comments there. When you know Boris Johnson, who's hardcore capitalist, coming out and saying, you know what, who's hardcore, who's saying, ooh, we've got to do something. The government need to step in. Fans need to protest. The only way this is going to stop is fans need to protest. The government will have to step in. The government will have to step in, and we'll get an independent regulator.
What if the government gets paid off and say, you know what, have that 10 billion?
Happening. We'll have to still protest. We'll still have to protest.
Who can you trust, though, guys? Who can you trust? You know what I mean?
But people you know saying, what
go on, then.
Now, but the thing is, as well, is that where the Premier League has flopped and why people like Boris Johnson's coming out, because they're letting outside powers take over the beautiful game in their country, and there's nothing they can do about it. Because what happens in franchise sport is that the team that finishes 16th one season can win the league the next season. because of the amount of money that they all have within that franchise. Everyone in that league can go and buy a Grealish at 100 million and this player at that. They all have the ability to buy the best players around in that sport. So as much as you can finish 17th one season, you can then win it the next season, and that's what drives fan exterior, because in the Premier League now, you Burnley can't win the league. Yeah, they just can't win it. The funds don't. It's not possible.
Can I ask you a question, Musa? Is this a cowardly? Go on,
but it kills the romanticism. It kills the romanticism,
there you go.
Musa, because in America they've got the thing what is called as a draft. So they pick the players, don't they? They have the draft system, but it's still not all those teams win the league or win the Super Bowl. Not everyone. If they get lucky, and it shows you the Glazers didn't win. For years and years, they didn't win the Super Bowl. Other teams are winning right, left, and centre.
I know, but what do they do though? Isn't this a telling story though? They go and get that guy. What's his name? The one that Tom Brady on a big year contract. They win the Super Bowl. Isn't this a telling contract? They're getting the Super League right now, and they want to be the best of the best.
No, but it won't be. I'm telling you, Man United will still finish last. Man United will still be there. Still in the last 5-3 because they're not asked about an investment. That 400 million they're supposed to be getting when you get into the Super League, you get 400 million. That'll go straight into their pockets. Dividends FC, because they don't care. They might care about American football because they're Americans. Let me ask you a question, the Americanization of elite football.
Absolutely.
Everybody should be kicking off about this. We should have, when things go back to normal, wall-to-wall protests. Wall to wall, and people are like, "Oh, there's nothing that could happen." Now, most of the day I spent putting the feelers out there, trying to get older people.
It will be cancelled. It will be.
You know what we need to do? This thing has to collapse. But once it collapses, we can't just go back to like,
there's no going back, Musa, man. I'm not going back.
No, but we can't go back to allowing the Glazers to stay. We can't go back to allowing the Premier League to make us pay nearly £100 in subscription fees a month. Things have to change. This has to be a wake-up call to hold on. We need to tighten our belts. We need to change it. Even bringing in what they have in Germany with Bayern Munich, the 50% plus one, and having fans involved in their club. Things have to change, bro.
Look at this comment here. Apparently, this is from Woodward. How can the players? Woodward is said to have told the squad they were acting on the club's best interests.
Are they heck? That is the biggest one. And big up Anders Herrera, the only footballer till now to come
big
out.
Up, man.
The only
Poders, and Bruno
Ozil as well.
Ozil as well, yeah. Ozil.
Let me just read the people what he said, right? Let me just read the people what Anders Herrera said. Because to me, this is one of the most best things anybody could say. So this is from Andres Herrera. I fell in love with football, with popular football, with the football, with the football of the fans, with the dream of seeing the team of my heart compete against the greatest. If this European Super League advances, those dreams are over. The illusion of fans of the same that are not of the giants being able to win on the field, competing in the best competitions will end. I love football. I cannot remain silent about this. I believe in an improved Champions League, but not in the rich stealing the people, what the people have created, which is the nothing other than the most beautiful sport on the planet. That is from Andres Herrera. And you know,
beautiful.
Yeah. What does that mean, lukewarm? What does lukewarm mean? Does anyone know what lukewarm means?
Lukewarm is like it's just building up. It's not even fully there yet.
Yeah, lukewarm is like when you lukewarm. It's like when you boil. Let's say you have a cup of tea and your tea's sitting there and people boil it again. They don't boil it till they just make it lukewarm. You want to drink that's lukewarm, not too hot, not too hot.
So he's saying that MUFC players have made their feelings known to Ed Woodward via Zoom meeting this morning. Some say the reception among the squad was lukewarm at best. So basically, building up, basically. Is that what you're trying to say? Building up.
We're basically saying, nah, we're not with it. But of course, they're going to promise the players big more money. And again, this is another thing as well, what we need to do. We need to stop players. We need to have a cap on wages. We need to have a cap on... We need to have a cap on wages. We need to have a cap on football transfers. At the end of the day, if you want the game to be sustainable, because the game will crash. Do you remember, Musa, about a decade and a half ago, Serie A crashed. Serie A was the best league in the world. It was the most watched league about 20 odd years ago. All the best players used to go to Serie A. What happened? What happened? At the end of the day, it could not sustain itself. It all crashed.
This has to be a turning point in how football is managed moving forward. Other teams have to wake up. All of this, you know, especially the Premier League, because the Premier League sees itself as the best of the best. We're the best league. We command the best fees, the best money.
Propaganda.
Yeah, but they've left themselves exposed.
Let me ask you a question, guys. Do you not think this is a cowardice attempt from these clubs? Because when you look at the likes of Leicester, the way they're doing things, you know, big structure, they've got, you know, big facilities, new training ground, one of the best, like, you know, infrastructures in for me in the Premier League. You look at Everton, new stadium, billionaire owners, top manager. They're for me, they're threatened. They're threatened. West Ham coming up now, looking like they're going top 4. They're looking at all these teams thinking, hold on a minute, how are these guys top 4? What's going on here? What happened to the traditional top 6? What is going on? For me, when you look at I think these owners are scared. They're scared because they know that 1 week, 1 year, this manager might not make us top 4. We might not get top 4. And we're going to lose money just because little old West Ham went in front of us and had a good season. They're saying that's not right.
Saeed, I'm telling you, American owners, the biggest thing people don't understand is this promotion regulation. Promotion. They don't understand that. They're like, you just become a franchise. That's the American way they see it. Everybody makes money. We all make money. Nobody threatens us because we're the biggest. And guess what? Apparently, in somebody in Sky spoke to one of the board members of this top 6, and I think it's a United board member. The way the guy was speaking on Sky Sports, what is one of them is a board member. And you know, guess what he said? What? Fans in this country, guess what the word they give us? We're legacy fans. But the fans outside of this country.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that.
Another thing as well, people do not realize this, yeah? I can't say it properly, man. Stop it. I'm dyslexic, right? I can't say some of these words properly, especially when man's tired and fasting, right? So behave yourself.
Can I just read the super chat? Yeah, read the super chat. Because I'm not going to read that word. He goes, big up to Super Chat, by the way. He goes, the only ones that can stop this are the fans and refuse the Super League subscription. That's a big comment, by the way. That as soon as players see money, they will sell their soul.
Of course they will.
Absolutely, of course, mate. Absolutely.
And do not be shocked. Do not be shocked when the Super League is created. Do not be shocked that next minute Manchester United, Manchester United, Real Madrid playing where? Kuala Lumpur Stadium. Man United.
They've said it already. They've said it already. They said it already.
Manchester United. Listen, Barcelona against Liverpool playing where? In somewhere in China.
Dallas, Texas.
Dallas.
Yo.
Dallas, Texas, you know.
And they've already, you know the reason why they've gone for it now? Because they've experienced it. Football fans still being watched. Football is being watched by the millions and the billions around the world, and we don't need the atmosphere in this team anymore. So guess what they refer to us fans as? Legacy fans. Legacy. They're basically stolen the game from us. That's what
they're trying to say to you, know what it is, though. We'll breed another kind of, you know, I don't know what the word is yet, but it's almost like, you know, morphing new fans.
That's so. But my thing is this: if you're under the age of 15, 16 or whatever, 18, and this exception of this league comes in, this is all you're going to know to some extent. You know what I'm trying to say? So for them, they know that, you know, the fan base will continue to. But my problem is this: if this thing does not go ahead, and how we view football does not change. How, you know, the fans are treated does not change. How the Champions League and everything else is viewed by us does not change. Remember, guys, we watched the cup final on ITV 99.
Yeah.
Remember, it was free television. We were able to view football. They were still getting big money. What happened to that?
Yeah. Premier League, innit? Premier League broke away, didn't it? Premier League broke away.
This is what I'm saying, because when you read some of the language when the Premier League began in '92 is very similar to what I'm hearing today. I've had to go back. It's very similar.
And the money,
I'm saying,
they also come to the
problem is, Lord, the player power has cost the fans. The money power, eventually the fans are the ones that are going to be the ones that are suffering. And that's the problem.
Because you see the Super League, yeah. All this you see the Super League, all they have to do is listen to all the complaints and think, what's the biggest complaints? There isn't a system of going up and going down. Okay, we're going to introduce that. Forget it. Everyone can go up and go down, but we're keeping this league and we're forgetting UEFA. What then? What then?
So listen, it's not that though. It's about cream. It's about the creaming off. It's about creaming off. It's another thing again. People the game being stolen.
Let me get Flawless in before he kind of cuts off again. Oh, he's down there. I don't know. It's windy now, Flawless, man. Yo, Flawless, can you hear us?
Is it hella windy where I'm at? Yeah, I can hear you and that. Can you hear me okay? If it gets too windy, just mute me in it and I'll try to jump back in and jump back out. Am I good, yeah?
Yeah, I want to hear your opinion. Let me know your opinion, bro.
Yeah, man, like, where do I start, man? I'm sure yourself, Nuruddin, and Musa have all touched on it in terms of, we all know this is just a money grab and that. Like, I'm fuming in it. You know what I'm saying in that? Like, hold on. 2-2s, can you hear me, yeah?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. I'm fuming about it and that. It's literally just a money grab. Literally, that's what it is. And then, it's tough to even talk about, you know. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's emotional.
Emotional. What for you needs to change now? I know we're gonna talk about protests in a minute, but how do we get these guys? People are saying, "Oh, we'll never get these guys out. It's a pointless task." How do we change that mindset? Because for me, you can always Gaddafi nearly took over the whole of Africa. Gaddafi, and they got him out.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I hear what...
So, at the end of the day, people, man, if there's a tyrant and if there's a leader involved and he's for me is a dictator or what they're doing, dictatorship ownership, there is hope that you can still get them out. So how do you say to these people and give them a perspective, say, you know what, there will be change, but it could happen. There will. All
we can do is try and come up with ideas and create things like you said, protests and things of that nature to try get them out. All 6 clubs involved from this country should be ashamed of themselves in it. There's a reason that Gary Neville went on such a rant, and he's Manchester United through and through. But there's a reason he went.
Look what Sky did, though. Look what Sky did. They took off Liverpool and Leeds out of the Premier League. What's it called?
Did they take it off?
You know what? Yeah, they took it off, man. They said, "Yo, we're not previewing Sadio Mane versus Phillips, man." They put Gary Neville and Vicky on there. Yeah.
Oh yeah, on the picture thing. Yeah. I get what you're saying with that, and rightfully so. Like I said, it's literally just a money grab. And what makes this more disgusting is football is already a £1 billion sport that is worldwide. It's a worldwide sport. You know what I'm saying? It's global. You can literally go to any continent on the globe. If you mention you're from Manchester, the first thing people say to you is Manchester United, and they can't even speak English too good. You know what I'm saying in that? So the fact that United, Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, Spurs have gone into this is absolutely ridiculous. And they've literally just shit on everybody else. Not just the Premier League, I'm talking the Championship, League 1, League 2, Conference North, Conference South, the Conference, all the way down to grassroots. Because now what happens to the rest of the teams just in the Premier League, for instance? What happens to them? The 6 teams will be all right. What happens to the rest of them? Now you
care about these people that are saying, but it's a good problem. You can't have your cake and eat it. A lot of people on Twitter saying, what is all moaning at? How would you mean what you're moaning at? You can't have your cake and eat it.
But you know who them people are? I have not seen one fan or supporter of a team outside of the Big 6 saying this in it. Ask an Everton fan about this. This cheapens the Premier League as a product. Whether the Big 6 get kept in or kicked out, this cheapens it as a product.
This creates a chaos, you know. Imagine fans at the stadium now. They're basically a war. It's basically a war now.
Yeah. It cheapens the value of the product. So now it cheapens the value of the product. You're affecting pockets of everybody, and that goes down. Like I said, you've got teams. Norwich just got promoted. You know what I'm saying? Gas, they literally just got promoted a couple of days ago. For what now? You know what I'm saying? And that. For what now? You have teams fighting promotion. Watford are trying to come up, for instance. For what? And these are the type of clubs that are kept afloat by playing the Big Six, by being in the Premier League. You know what I'm saying? And they're championship sides. Never mind League One and League Two. The Big Six teams will be fine. And that's what I don't like from fans of the Big Six clubs. Like, oh, it's not that bad, etc., etc. Let this car go past. That's very ignorant. You get what I'm saying? And that's very ignorant because your club's okay. All Manchester United are fine. They have no issue in that. We was already fine anyway. We're absolutely fine. The rest of the Big Five are fine.
It's also a generation thing because now all the people, because they already, you know, the maddest thing about it is that young fans on the FIFA head, they think this is FIFA because of course they play these games. Real Madrid, United, Liverpool, Barcelona. They play this every game on FIFA. They're playing they're playing it out, and now it's going to become real. But I get bored. I love the fact that we have to play Burnley. I love the fact that we're all biting our nails. It's a local derby, and it matters so much. And why would I want to play? I get bored of playing Real Madrid and Barcelona and Juventus every other week because it kills it. That's one reason we go into the Champions League, and then it all becomes. That's the reason why I think, we're in this competition. We can fight on all fronts. To me, it shows that what is shameful, and I said it again and again to people, and people were laughing at me against that. What I said, the Glazers are ripping football, and soon they'll come for everybody else. And people laughed at me, and now they finally come for everybody else. This is a Glazer created thing because Glazers, Kroenke, and whatever they call FSG at Liverpool all come together and were like, we need to make more money.
All of them.
Into a franchise.
Yeah, and another thing as well, not only get to the super chat, man. No worries.
Infamous Marxist, what a name, mate. You know what I mean? If I was a footballer for one of these 12 clubs, I'd threaten to leave, especially if I'm not allowed to play for my country in the World Cup. Maybe these players can stop this. You know what, that flawless? That's a good point. Maybe the players
it violates contracts. It violates contracts.
You've opened up a whole can of worms. Not only is it morally effed up what they've done to the rest of the whole, and I'm not just talking in England. I'm talking teams in Italy, talking teams in Spain. You're talking thousands upon thousands of players, staff, etc., fans. Like I said in it, I need to reiterate this the most. The only people backing and the only fans I've seen back in the European Super League are fans of the Big Six because it's very selfish because your club's okay. Like I said, all four of us on here could easily be like, it's Manchester United, we're fine, blah, 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 and all this type of stuff, which is cool. But what about an Everton? What about a Burnley? What about a Brighton? All the other teams just in the Premier League alone, never mind the rest. And again, even on top of that, Nuruddin touched on it, from the entertainment factor, playing the Super League and playing Barcelona and Real Madrid for the first couple of years will be fine. But then what happens 4 or 5 years down the line and we're still playing them? The reason the Champions League is such an attraction is because you don't get them games every week. That's the whole point. That's why when it's a big deal when we play a Barcelona, a Real Madrid. We played AC Milan, and that's in the Europa League. Neither of them neither side is at the highest level, but it was still great for nostalgia. It was still a big game because it's Manchester United versus AC Milan and that. And the Champions League has, people don't understand, that's bread stars. There's certain things that have happened, that's bread stars, that's bread moments. I used to live like Liverpool versus AC Milan in the Champions League final, even though Liverpool won it. This is bigger than football. That's a historic moment in Istanbul. United in 99, that's a historic moment. You know what I'm saying in that? Kaka at Old Trafford, that's a historic moment. You don't get a Mourinho at Porto happening if this European Super League happens either. That don't happen. That changed football. That Mourinho winning the Champions League with Porto changed the course of Premier League history. Now you don't get that. Yeah, now he's gone. The irony of that. You know what I'm saying?
All of the romance.
And the entertainment factor. So not only is it morally wrong, you also dipping in entertainment as well in that. Just leave it alone. You could have easily have left it alone. But they chose to go for the money grab, and that's what makes it worse, isn't it? It's all a money grab. And I just see Lewis go live and he's saying Chelsea to be kicked out of the Champions League. We were all looking forward to the semi-finals.
Get them all out, man.
Every year, man.
For me, Lord,
Man United be relegated. I'm telling you now.
They're relegated, man. Get them relegated. Get them relegated.
And just one more thing as well. What they've also done, if players, they're saying, if UEFA and FIFA are saying players can't play in the Champions League, they can't play in the World Cup and the Euros and that. Now you're making players pick. So take a Rashford, for instance. Now we've got to decide between the World Cup and the Euro.
There's also a rule in the Premier League that you cannot play for another domestic league, outside of the ones that are understood.
It's Rule L9. Rule L9 says
that's what I'm saying. So these guys are just breaking rules left, right, and center, and breaking football contracts left, right, and center. That's why I said that I don't believe this goes ahead, especially this season. But it's enough to know that something is in the works. And number two, it's enough for us to know. This is why Noureddin has been screaming from the beginning. Forget Ollie. Forget all of these, man. Glazier's out. Go for the big brother. Stop playing games with a little bro. But we're not listening. But if we don't listen after this, then there's no hope.
But
because if something like this happens,
does football already take any significance?
But you know what makes it. Go on, side.
No, go on.
I was going to say, you know what makes it worse as well is it's not just the Glazers' problem because City, who like their owners agreed to this. Chelsea love Roman. All their owners and board agreed to this. That's what makes this worse. This is, as big as the Glazers are, this is a bigger issue than the owner thing because everybody agreed to this. Spurs with Levy, they might like their fans. They also agreed to this. That's the mad part. If it was just United and, say, Arsenal, who have problems with our owners, then that makes more sense. City have agreed to this. That's the crazy part, and they're in with a chance of winning 3 trophies. That's how you know it's a money grab, and it's ridiculous because it's not like
money
you're
that
not
we
starving.
never ever get again, though. Flawless. Is it money that they're thinking? You know how we talk about once in a lifetime money? Is this money for these rich owners a once in a lifetime opportunity to stay rich for 23 years apparently?
But the thing is,
Noureddin, you said it there. Spot washing.
I hear that, but these men have generational wealth already. I'm not watching nobody's pockets. Get your money in that, but surely your moral compass comes in at a certain point in that. Like you're just going to step over everybody.
Greed upon greed upon greed upon greed. That's what they have, bro. They're just greedy. They're greedy. People have to understand that. This is capitalism. This is neoliberalism out of control. It's psychopathic. They'll hang their own, trust me, to make more buck. It's called the wealth trap. And the players are going to be trapped in the wealth because they're going to be looking at, oh, my guy's got a new car. Yo, I don't even know some of these cars. Some kid was talking to me today saying, yeah, people want this new car, this new Mercedes. That's what's called the wealth trap. Once you're in it, you get dazzled by money. And you know what? At the end of the day, we've danced with the devil, and now the devil wants to consume us all, mate. They want to take over everything. And this is what's happening. And the only way this can stop, to me, if fans protest, the top 6 fans protest, right? And by the way, let me just debunk it on this here now. Jose Mourinho got sacked. He was always going to get sacked regardless of the breaking news. Jose Mourinho didn't go against this. Jose Mourinho, he wants to get paid, people. So don't get it twisted. I just want to make people know Jose Mourinho was always going to be sacked today because Daniel Levy does not sack a manager without having a plan, without negotiating his contract, without having a plan on the next manager coming in the next couple of weeks. But it is shameful.
Or did he have the money, Noureddin? Or did he have the money in hindsight? The 400 million you're going to get. You know what, sacking Mourinho would have been easier.
It's not that, trust me.
He doesn't even have to flip it.
Yeah, and the madness, all those Mourinho lovers, Man United Mourinho fans are like, oh, it's Mourinho. No, he wasn't because of that. Mourinho got sacked because of what happened, mate. The players have turned against him, and Daniel Levy realized it. Pogba had to say it for him to realize. But what I'm gonna tell you now, guys, if you are a football fan and you love football and you love competition and you love and respect, I just want to go back. I studied sport, right? That's my degree, right? Majority of football fans came out of a community. They came out of the church mainly because the churches realized that football was popular. It's because of the working class. It's a working class game. Manchester United is the railway club. That's what Man United were, Newton Heath Railway Club. It was built by workers who done a Saturday afternoon, half-day Saturday, could enjoy watching a bit of football. Absolutely. And now the capitalists are taking over. I'm not against hardcore capitalism. I'm sorry, I'm against hardcore capitalism. Capitalism that's not being regulated. I'm against that. I'm not against. I'm all for mixed economies. Money can be moved. People can trade. I am not hardcore Marxist by any means, okay? But I'm about regulation and making sure these greedy people in every sphere of life do not get away with it. And it always comes at the cost of working class and poor people. That's what I'm against. I'm in sport, especially in sport. We are all for healthy competition. We are all for dreaming. We are all for sort of Burnley fans for years and years who've been in a championship, who've been in the old Division 1, can one day come into the Premier League and get a manager like Son Dyche and sustain themselves playing different style of football. I want to see that. Now, I want to see everybody competing. You know, the old saying was, in it, but can Messi do it on a Tuesday night in Stoke?
The irony.
All of
Now
that's
it's
gone.
no, but now the irony is, loading. Now can Messi do it in a warm, you know what I mean, sunny
This has been
Kuala
coming,
Lumpur?
my
You know
boys,
what I mean?
man. The signs have been coming. The signs
What
have been
about this?
coming,
What
man.
about this, Musa? Do we need the 50+1 rule?
Of
We
course,
need
do
a
we need-
50+1. You know why? The signs have been coming. Listen, BT have all the rights to the UEFA Champions League and the Europa League. When did that happen? I'm just thinking for myself. I've been sitting here as a fan for the last, 10 years, looking at the way, subscription has changed us and how we can watch the fan. You know why? It's a lot different for fans, especially when you're not in Manchester and you're out of Manchester and you have to, rely on a lot on watching the games on TV. I feel like even the monopoly of, the highest bidder for the Champions League, the highest bidder for the Premier League, these guys have fed the idea that money talks. And now we're in this situation. And again, I keep on saying the only people who can stop this really are the fans. It's really because if this league don't go ahead, for example, all the clubs that have signed up to it should not compete in next year's Champions League. Whether it goes ahead or not, they shouldn't. But the question is, everyone's going to say, will the Champions League be the same without these clubs in it? So that's why it's a double-edged sword, because who's going to watch the Champions League if these 15 clubs are not in it next season?
That's the problem, and that's the reality for me, man. I just think for me, what happens for the next stage of football? You know what I mean? Like, what happens to the next stage of,
Ownership
competing?
has to change. Ownership, like you said, the 50+1 rule. Ownership of the football clubs have to change. Fans and communities that these football clubs came from have to have a say-so on how these clubs are run. The people of the communities that these clubs, have come from the ground up, and built these clubs with glorious histories, like you said, connected to the towns and cities and connected to the trades of these towns and cities to where they are today, have to have a say in what happens to these clubs. Because when it's all said and done, these guys are ready to have Manchester United Stadium as a franchise in somewhere, like you said, Singapore. They're ready to move Old Trafford away from Manchester.
They were. You know what I mean? And I just don't know where we... for me, it begs a question, man. Can this protest work, man? Because for me,
we have to try. We have to try something. It's not about whether it works or not. We have to try. We have to build pressure.
What the problem is?
The government will step in. The government will step in. If the protest is loud and it's clear, the government will have to step in. And
you know what the problem is with this protest? If we make it about our clubs and not about football, we need to unite in Central, like we did in London. We have to. The whole fan base has to come out. Football. It can't be us going to Old Trafford and the City fans going to City and Liverpool going to. No, everyone has to come out. We need more than 1 million people on the streets.
We do. We do. Football, we have to say, listen, they've crossed the line now. It's enough, it's enough.
Yeah.
We can't let them, if we let this go, football is over.
Football is over.
Other sports to follow. We might as well go to our local darts, start supporting darts. I'm telling you, or snooker or whatever. Because if they win this, it's over. It's over. The biggest thing about football, you know what it is? You know the biggest thing about football? I tell people, you don't need everything to win. You can just wrap plastic. You can get just the plastic bags, wrap them around each other, and you can play. You don't need much equipment to play football. You can put down a comb. You can put down 2 sticks and make a goal. It's universal. There are things like music and football are the biggest universal things around the world. You can go villages all around this world, and people know how to kick a ball, a little play. And when we support our club, it's all about this unpredictability, this drama that someone like Leicester can win the league from nowhere while other clubs have not sorted out and go, look at how romantic that was. You tell me anybody that was against, other than Tottenham fans, that didn't
Yeah,
want
I know.
Look at Ranieri, the character. He was the nearly man at every club. At every club he's almost finished second. His teams were top of the league, and then the other teams catch up and beat them. There you go. He comes out with the lines. If we win, if we don't concede, I take the players out for a pizza. Look at how amazing that was. Look at West Ham. Look what they're doing. Look at the season they're having. All of these things, this Super League wants to cut all of that debt.
All off, and that's the problem.
And you know how you know their intentions are not pure.
We cannot allow this. If you love football, you cannot allow this. And Musa said exactly. We've got to get thousands out there, and I'm telling you now, we have to start writing to your local MPs, local councillors. That's what's going to take people to say we cannot. Football needs a regulator. The Sky and BT need a regulator. Everything. If that means that players' wages needs to be capped at a certain level, that needs to happen. Because at the end of the day, back in the day, I remember when I speak to diehard United fans who live around Hume, they say to me, you know what, I used to go on the bus, with Dennis Law and those guys, Bobby and that. I used to see them on the bus. Can you imagine that? Players and fans getting on the bus together to the game.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that? At the end of the day, I'm not asking to rewind. I'm all for fair competition. I'm all for change. But at the end of the day, I'm not for change to fill the...
And the worst thing about it, Nuruddin, they've done it in this period of what we've been in for the last year.
Yeah, they're not sincere. My thing is, they were sincere. If you look at the continent of Africa, from like north to south to east to west, and the amount of footballing ability that is there, that is trickled out every year into European football, and then they end up playing for France, England, Germany, whoever they end up playing for. If you really wanted to create a new era of football and a new legacy of football, you would go and build a Super League there with structure, with stadium, with players getting paid, and you would allow it to grow and build to compete with other, great leagues around the world. But there's no sincerity to see the growth of football and to spread the wealth in football. It's just to capitalize on those teams who are already at the top. And that's where there's no sincerity in it, because there's so many opportunities in football to create new, as a continent, it has 54 countries, talent upon talent. And like Nuruddin said, kids are playing football with flipping bottles and this. People are kicking balls left, right, and center, and they're not being developed at the same level as they are in Europe and other places in the world. If you have this money and you care about the game, you would develop the game in such places and let it grow, so we can see, likes of footballers maybe we haven't seen yet. But that's not what it's about. It's just about the money. And this is why, if we as fans don't come out and march in London, Manchester, wherever it may be,
everywhere,
and flood the streets, as we have done for things that have been close to our hearts, that we wanted to have change for.
It's the way of life, though. It's the way of life. This is a way of life, man, for people. A lot of people, I've watched football their whole life, and they've said to themselves, you know what, man? What is the point of watching football anymore? What's the point of you watching Leeds versus Man United on the weekend? When in reality, that the club, I've told you, we don't care about the Premier League. We don't care about competing anymore. What is the point?
What happened to the rivalries? That's what football is about. It's
about the American guys know my rivalries. Leeds versus United. They don't know that. They don't know that.
Sad.
Wow, look at this here. Look at this here.
I'm not going to lie to you.
Super Leagues will be at the FIFA game as well.
I couldn't sleep last night.
I couldn't as well. And I had work this morning. I don't even see my Instagram people, man. I said, is this all a dream? I couldn't even speak to colleagues this morning. They said to me, what's up? I said, yo, man, a whole load of madness. And you know what it was, yeah? This is how mad it was, yeah? They didn't even watch football. And all they heard today was Super League. And they said, all around the radio, Super League. So imagine people that don't even watch football, they knew about it this morning.
We're in, I don't know where we stand, man. Because I'm thinking, why are we even competing? Why are we playing Europa League? What are we doing?
All of that's going to be cancelled, I think. All of that needs to be cancelled. And
you
know what? They've done it mid. You know what? The timing of this.
Before the Euros, you know what it is, Nuruddin? Just before, does it just say to yourself, I think Paris goes, we'll create our World Cup and the Euros. And also, what it does not highlight to you, Nuruddin, that the Euros is insignificant now. It was last year. Now it's about the future. Now it's about how we can create a global phenomenon.
Some people are saying, some people who know more than us, who maybe are saying this, they've done it like this so that they want more money from UEFA, because UEFA, I think, out of the Champions League, they make about 4 billion or something like that.
It's a declaration. It's not starting a war. If you started a war now, if I went to, you know, I mean, a country now, say I'm country in Somalia, and I went over to the border and I started firing shots over the border to Kenya, would Kenya say, you know what? Oh, you didn't mean that. Oh, that was by accident. You think they would say that? They start a war, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
This is the reality. You can't go there, create a whole load of madness, and then say, you know what? Yeah, but our intentions were, we just wanted to wake you up. Well, we wanted to wake Kenya up because you, man, were you know, messing around in the borders. Come on, people, man. You can't say that, man.
It's crazy. For me, it's the biggest thing, but they're saying they want to have a bargaining chip. And if you want a bargaining chip, you have to go strong. You're going to have to go strong.
Look at Monday Night Football. They're the bad as each other, man. Look what they're doing now. They're making it free now so that people can watch it. And then later on, they build a subscription from it. And then they build the views from
this
it.
This what I'm saying. They're not sincere.
You know, one thing I would say this. Remember when they bought out the £15 a match? What happened? People donated to their local food bank, Saeed and Musa. Yeah. And that's what people did. And then they realized the fans voted with their feet. They were like, nah, we're not buying it. We're not buying it, mate. We're not buying a match for 15 quid. No chance. Whether it's Burnley against Sheffield United, whether it's Man United against Liverpool, we're not asking. We're not buying it. And you know what? That happened. So what I'm saying to you is that if we get a footballing regulator, if we get an independent body that regulates football, we will see the prices coming down. Because a lot of it, we've got to say as well, it's been driven by agents and player greed as well. That's a factor as well. Also,
the problem is as well is how much money's been made away from the players, and they're the main spectacle. That's the problem.
Why should season tickets be £700? Why should corporate tickets get the best seats in town? Why should they be the first one to get away tickets? When you realize, people don't realize this.
As soon as you get to the final, oh, the corporates have got the seats. They flipping.
Why should the rich?
Things have to change. Things have to change.
Why should the rich be entertained by the work of the working class, by the football made by the working class? Why should the rich be the ones to do it? It's like, for me, building a house. You know, these guys in Dubai that build houses for all these rich people.
The reality is, the reality is,
we live in an upside down world. We live in an upside down world.
We do, and we need to change it because the reality is, football is not easily viewed for the people that love it the most. Not everyone can afford these subscription fees on Sky, and BT and all of that.
No,
it's not easy.
No.
Like, that's why the kids are not getting it. This is why everyone's, resorting to pirate channels on flipping internet to watch games and stuff like that, because there's a reason for it. Not everyone can afford it. And I feel like this has to be, a new era of, making sure that football becomes affordable again. It's important. What happened to the games that they were putting on BBC? Did they stop those games?
No, they're still going on, I think. They're still going on.
We got a different style of super chat here. Big up to Habby. He goes, hey Said, I support the Super League. He goes, I know I'm from Canada, but I need the UK passport. You get me? I feel the grassroots, but this is a great idea. What does he mean by that? I need a UK passport. Does he mean that?
I bet Habby, I put money on it. Habby is a FIFA kid. He's already played these games in his head already, and he thinks, it's going to be wicked. Real Madrid, 1 minute United play Real Madrid, Juventus, next
It loses the touchdown, Murden. It loses the touchdown, the nostalgia.
I get bored of watching. Yeah, but I get bored. Who wants to watch that? Who wants to watch the boring? It loses all of the glamour. It uses all of those things.
Let me ask a question, Musa. I get bored of watching the International Cup. You know that when they put on pre-season, where they have Barcelona, PSG, Bayern Munich, they put them all in one, and then they have a tournament, and then by the end of it, someone wins. I get bored of that.
Yeah.
In the pre-season game, it's literally the international, what they call it, cup, made into a big Super League.
I think the nostalgia and also what we get excited about is watching the Champions League draw, thinking what's coming out of the pot. Who are we going to be paired up with today? You know who's going to be in our group stage today? I think all of that is a part of
Look at
the
Arsenal,
experience.
though. Look at
Yeah?
Arsenal. They drew with Fulham yesterday. They're absolutely terrible this season. 10th in the league, I think they are.
Buying
And then
it.
they say they want to be part of the
Buying it.
Super League.
Buying it, bro. Tottenham buying it.
They
And
want to
I
be part of the
would
Super
say, can I
League.
just say this? Can I just say this? The announcement yesterday that getting leaked was because that UEFA were gonna announce today. They've been put back now, I think, but they were gonna announce 32. They were gonna 32 club in the Champions League, get more other fans and spread the money. But these clubs are like, no, we don't care about these other smaller clubs in these different countries. We don't care about these things. We want the money all to ourselves. And at the end of the day, this all started because the Premier League gave in. Richard Scudamore gave in. He gave in and said the top six in the Premier League can negotiate with foreign owners by themselves, with foreign owners for foreign TV owners by themselves abroad. And that's when it started. And that's when they got too big for their boots. If you would have shut it down and said, no, the Premier League as a whole, all 20 teams are all negotiating foreign TV rights all together, and there's no big top six. It's a monster. This is a Frankenstein monster. Sky helped to create this, and I hope that Gary Neville and Carragher admit that today when they come out. Even though they're Sky.
Look at this comment here,
monster.
Yeah, look at this comment here. By the way, we've got over 700 people watching this video. Let's get 400 likes, people. I think we're on 363 likes. Let's get 400 likes. This comment here, Musa. Do you think the Cuban kids growing up are obsessed with money, hence they wouldn't care about the Super League?
Of course.
Yeah, I don't think they understand, because they don't understand the forming of all the other leagues and the history too much. I feel like they won't understand the impact. And it's easy. I think the impact of the Super League, even to some who should know better, are not really understanding the full impact that they have. So it's easy for the young people to think it can't be that bad. And again, like we're saying, a lot of people are going to look at the games that we're going to be able to be played. But like Noradine said, if there's a new structure already coming to UEFA Champions League and they want to increase more teams, maybe the better teams out of the Europa League, and make sure that they're already in the Champions League and there's a different format into how the games are played, then we're already there. And I think if this is a ploy by the other teams to get UEFA to share more of its money from that they're making, then again it shows that there's a problem in football and the structure needs to change. Whether that's the reason that they're doing it or not, but things have to change. What I don't want, because I don't believe this league is going to go ahead. Maybe I'm naive, but I don't believe it's going to go ahead. But what I do believe is that if it doesn't go ahead and there isn't changes made, I don't get it. Like, there has to be new, legislations put towards football for the betterment of football and the fans. Like I said, to watch every game in the Premier League for the whole season, you need to have Amazon, BT, and Sky. It's not easy, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy for the average household to be able to do that and to be connected to the game. That has to change. All of these things have to change. And if these things don't change, and we also don't change the structure of how the clubs are owned, because like I told you, how the heck, remember my man wanted to buy Man United, Rupert Murdoch, and they said no because of he owns Sky and the league, and it was going to be, it was like, conflict of interest and all of that stuff. Then you let Man United go and get bought out on interest, brother. It's not a mobile phone. How the heck does Man allow, the jewel of Premier League football to be bought out on interest? Shocking behavior, bro.
Yeah, man. Stephen Meza says, hey, thanks for the super chat. He goes, we need to save the beautiful game. All you fan channels need to unite and protest ASAP. I'm willing to travel from the UK, from the USA to save the game. Wow. Big up to you, Stephen Meza, man. Absolutely dedication right there. Do you think we're united, Flawless, man? Do you think the Man United fans are united enough to do this, man? Because I'm united, Nerd is united, Musa's united, you're united. I think the whole of this group is united. Are the people out there that have got big fan channels, big communities, are they willing to set aside their little bonus for the month where they get a player interviewed and they get a little bonus deal about a shirt sponsor and all that? Are they willing to do that, Flawless? That's my question. I don't think they are, man. I think for me, they're playing up to the game, and I think they're pandering right now. But in reality, mate, they won't be there, man. When the shit hits the fan, they won't be there. You there, Flawless?
One of the
Yeah, he was
problems as
staring at me
well
then.
is that one of the problems as well is that there's fan forums, like Man United fan forums, and every time these fan forums take place, none of the people who actually own these channels ever get called to these forums. Who are these fan forums?
Supporters trust, innit? A lot of them about
Yeah.
supporters trust. But today I seen one of the guys on Sky, but he didn't call for a protest. Instead, it's like the government should change it. One of the big supporters, Man United Supporters Association, fan forums, he was on Sky today and he was like, government has to step in. No, we need to go to the streets, mate. We need to go to the streets. And none of them are. So I've been scouring today, putting the feelers out there. I've been getting in touch with one or two people. There are some people who are up for it, but we all need to be up for it. We have to. And that's why tomorrow, me and Saeed were thinking we're going to go and do it. But you know what? We need to get more fans to come. And I think maybe Saturday might be
I'm going to put it out there tonight. Saturday.
As much as this is, like, I don't know. That's why I say everyone needs to unite, because this looks like something to me that gets taken to the House of Commons, London, 1 million people. There's enough people for us to be out there. 1 million people need to come out. Something has to be put on, because we see it when it's other causes. We need to flood the capital. That's what I believe. And that's all football fans together, every division. We're not just talking about the Premier League here. Everyone needs to come out.
We've got Super Chat here from Maz Mem. He goes, actually reading more into this, I don't like it, but don't you think it would be as terrible if there was relegation? It's still bad, but I want to ask. Go on, Nuruddin.
No, it is. We deserved it. Man United deserve to be relegated. Ruining 150 years of football in this country. We deserve to be relegated. Then those leeches might leave this club.
Absolutely.
And go right
Absolutely.
To the club.
I think what this guy is saying, though, if this new league allows relegation by all clubs, would it still be as bad, this league?
It will still be as bad. At the end of the day, it still be as bad, because they're taking away that competitive edge, bro. They're taking away that. And the pyramid, the best thing about this, the football, is that, look, little old, like, for example, Stroh's team, shout out Stroh's team, yeah? They could compete in the FA Cup. We already seen in our lifetimes how much the FA Cup is devalued. I love the FA Cup. I was absolutely fuming when Leicester knocked us out of the FA Cup. I want to see Man United lift that trophy. I want to see that, because it's the greatest cup.
Even on the Fergie days,
the oldest competition in the world, because university clubs can play in it. When I was living in Rusholme as a kid, we played against a team on the pitch. Just me and all my mates around who live in Rusholme played against this university team. The university team had a FA Cup game the week after. What are you talking about? You tell me any other cup competition like that in the world? No way. No way. And it's getting devalued because of the Champions League money. So, no. This is terrible, people. This is terrible. And you're setting a terrible precedent. You're saying if you let this happen, if we let this happen, if we all become consumed, like, oh, we can't be asked, their money, they always... No, we have to fight back. They've crossed the line. We have to fight back. Are you willing to fight back? That's the thing. Or are you willing to just to comment on it? I don't care what it takes me. I don't care how embarrassing it looks to me. I would like us all to be united. Everybody. We don't... To me, I'm inviting Burnley fans. I'm inviting Wigan fans, Bolton Wanderers fans. I'm inviting Stockport, Altrincham fans, everybody. You don't have to support United to protest against this. We need to protest this. And like Musa says, we need to get 1 million people on the streets of Parliament and around the streets of London. That's what we need.
We need a 1 million man march for this. We need all these football fans to come out. That's the only thing that's going to show impact. That's what's going to hit the news. That's what's going to send shockwaves around the world. Yeah, that British football fans have come out and they're not having this. That's the only way. Other than that, we're just gonna, like you said, we're just gonna get rolled over by the money. We have to, you know, show how we feel about this. And I just feel like even being online is not going to be enough. This is not going to be something that we can do in the comfort of our homes.
Everything that's ever been won, Saeed, everything, Musa, everything that's ever, we stand on the shoulders of giants. People have got out onto the streets, mate, to change things. That's what we have to do. We have to get out there. And some United fans go, oh, no. No, we need to get out on the streets. We need to unite. Get out on the streets, mate. That's what people need to do.
Nothing else is going to change this, because yeah, the way it's looking, I just can't see it. And this is going to show where people really at. If people are just talking the talk, or if they're serious about what their clubs and this league. And I feel like people are getting comfortable in how things are. And I feel like it's not even all these fan channels, whatever they were, everyone can get comfortable behind the camera. It's not enough. It's not enough.
Yeah.
People owe it to their followers, owe it to the fan bases of their clubs to come out and to make a stand. We can't even rely on the clubs because they're the ones that are signing up.
They're the ones, you know what I mean? It's like, you think there's always a loyal one, but there's no loyal one
you know
here.
what? And you know what? One thing I would say, I've got nothing against all of the people that work hard, work behind the scenes at Man United. This is all all of this is in the feet of the owners. Those greedy owners who know nothing about football. They have nothing to do with the culture, nothing to do with the traditions of Man United or Liverpool or Arsenal or Spurs or Chelsea or Man City. Could you imagine Man City? The reason why Man City go crazy when they celebrate something, you live with them, you live with Man City, because they were in the doldrums. Look at 99. Mickey Weaver there at Wembley, going crazy because they've been promoted.
Main Road, man. Main Road and all them lot. Could never hear football. Can never hear the goals.
The third division singing, 35,000 of them singing. I was there as a kid. We're shit and we know we are. And look at them now. These owners, all of the things they've done, all of that regeneration they've done of East Lancs, right? All of that is a spit in the face now. All of that, we've done all this. City fans got giddy. And now the owners of the Dubai lot have spat on the City fans' faces. Most City fans are humble people, right? Just read out this here.
Let me just read a couple of super chats here. Sport Genius says, American European elite have been stealing traditions since the beginning of time. I'm not surprised. It runs deep in the veins. We got another one here. Sean Thomas, big up Sean Thomas for the super chat. Goes, the game has been ruined. Fans clamoring and all celebrating 100 million transfers. Galactico squads and managers as a prize now that big clubs are following money. Give me a break. Another super chat here from Belay Visuals.
That's a big super chat. That was a big super chat.
Yeah. We're gonna go back to that one. Belay Visual says here, I'm fuming, but guys like yourself with big platform say glaze out. You should show some energy with the Super League, so you stop promoting United on the channel. For me now, we've become a protest channel. There's no more United, man. For me, you know what I mean. We're a protest channel now. I would have my same motivation to be talking about my United, about players and all that.
What's the point?
You know what's the point, man? You know what I mean? It's like being in a dictatorship, bro. You know what I mean? You're powerless, man. You know what I mean?
Bro? I don't even know who we're playing this week now or next week.
We're playing Leeds. The irony. We're playing Leeds. The irony. The irony.
Massive rivalry. What's
the point tonight? What's the point tonight?
Players, if the Super League goes ahead, we'd rather save the players. Forget about the massive rivalry with Leeds and save the players for midweek. So we play Real Madrid or Barcelona, Atletico Madrid or Juventus. So rest all the players. And you know what the owners have said? They said, we don't want. You know what they said about the players being kicked out of the European Championships and the World Cups? They said we're glad that is actually happening because we don't want to play. We don't want our players to be tired anyway. We want them to play and be healthy to play for the Super League. That's what we want. Can you imagine that?
Crazy comments.
Greedy. JB Morgan. I hope you burn in hell. I hope you burn in hell, JB Morgan. I hope you burn in hell. Glazers, I hope you burn in hell because you're ruining football. And I've said it, and I kept saying it, and people were laughing at me. And I'm saying it all of the time. This Glazer takeover is dangerous to everybody, not just for United. People are like, oh, just because you're not winning. Now, look now. Monsters, mate. The Frankenstein monster is changing and dictating the whole of European football.
Yeah. Justin, a mediator received a member of the UEFA and a member of the Super League to start discussions. The first time since the announcement of the league yesterday. But again, who cares? They've literally told us we want to join the Super League. And we know the worst thing about it. Man United have tweeted about the game yesterday.
But Saeed, you can't blame that guy. You can't blame that young person or that employee who's working for United as a job and who's tweeting that. That's not onto him. This is onto Woodward. Woodward now is...
And Woodward left his role. He left his role now at
dictating
UEFA.
English football, mate. Woodward now is dictating and directing English football.
Wow, look at this.
Joe
Leeds United are planning to wear t-shirts, warm up against, even saying early on the pitch, football is for the fans. Big up Leeds United, by the way.
Big up, mate. And big up Dortmund as well. I want to big up Dortmund. Big up Dortmund. Dortmund come out.
Dortmund.
Club. Dortmund made a statement and said, nah, we're not having this. We're not part of this. And big up PSG as well. Even though some people call them a plastic club, big them up because they're like, nah, this is not happening, mate.
You know what, yeah? Someone used to say, I used to say to myself, you know, why are these Man United fans singing this song, cut them up from every tour, you know what I mean? You know, burn them down and all that, yeah. And I was thinking,
Woodward in the middle.
You know, I was thinking, you know what, man? It all makes sense now, man. It all makes sense. I was thinking it was harsh. I said, you can't do that. You can't do that. Green and gold now, Nuruddin. Let's stock it up now. Green and gold to the end of the season. Green and gold everywhere, Nuruddin. You know, I'm fair play to you. You were wearing it all the time. But just to kind of wrap up the podcast and whatnot, what's the message for you guys, man? You know what I mean? Final thoughts, final message, you know what I mean?
We need to hear from we haven't even heard from the sponsors like Adidas and Nike and all that. I don't know.
I don't get new sponsors though. Imagine you're in the European Super League. You think these guys, these Super League guys, they're gonna say, oh, Adidas gonna be like,
Amazon will sponsor it all.
They'll sponsor it all, man. We've got a super chat here from Jara Matisi. Big up Jara Matisi. Big up the panel and Saeed. Love your content and the Big Six. Hope you all are still able to enjoy football. I'm not sure, but I'll try. You know what I mean? I won't. I'll be honest with you, I won't, man. After the blasphemy that's taking place yesterday, we need to unite as fans and protect our beloved game. Absolutely. And Belay Visual here, again with a super chat. Big up Belay Visual. He goes, back in the day when there was a player like Figo, Ronaldo, and so on, there would have been a good time for Super League. Now you're going to have a Super League with Rashford. You know, he had to put the Rashford slander in there, you know what I mean?
He hates him, you know.
He hates him, man. He played well yesterday. He played well yesterday.
Belay Visual, regardless of what he keeps saying energy with Rashford. Listen, brother. You gotta give the guy. Without him, I don't know what we would be in relegation. So we'll be,
you know what I mean? We'll be relegation. Rashford down the wing, and then Belay Visual will be selling super chat saying, "Game out in League One. You can't go past them in League One."
Belay Visuals.
You know what,
Nuruddin?
You know what, Nuruddin? Yeah. I got another one there, Sean Thomas again. Big up Sean Thomas. He goes, fans can't have it both ways. You either want clubs to be exorbitant fees for players and build Man City type squad, or you want an organic system. Clubs have to go where the money is.
Yeah, I understand that, but money needs to be relegated, Sean Thomas. Money has to be relegated. That's why I said I'm all calling for independent body to regulate football, where we have a cap on wages, we have a cap on.
Never gonna happen, Nuri. Never gonna happen.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Because in America, you know the funny thing about America? They do have certain caps on certain sports. There are certain caps. There are, and it can be done. But we need people to protect the game from itself, not the game. The owners of these football clubs. We need the protection from them as fans. That's what we need. Yo, big up, man. Big up all the runnings, man. Yo, big up, man. Saverian College crew, always, brother. Love, man.
Come on,
love,
man. Big up my local one that you get me. Big up, man. Musa, final thoughts, man. What do we do, man? You know, what's the message to the people? You know, I mean, any kind of optimism, any hope. What do you say to the people, man, as a kind of a final thoughts on this one, man?
I just feel like right now, I think we need unity in football, man. I feel like the rivalry of the football clubs, to keep our rivalry, we need to put our rivalry on hold.
Yeah.
For us to have rivalry, it means we need to put it on hold now. If we want to have the rivalry of United and Leeds, you know, and things like that, it means that at this moment in time, we need to put it on hold. We need to unite to fight for the fact we want rivalry. Because if we don't, and we stay divided as clubs and as a fan base for United, Liverpool, Arsenal, all of that stuff, and we don't unite, we need Tottenham and Arsenal fans to be like this. We need United and Liverpool fans, City fans like this. This is the time we come together and we say, you know what, for the love of football, and for the love of being able to have these rivalries still in the country, this is the time to unite and to say something and to march with our feet and to speak with our voices as loud as possible and say, we're not going to accept this.
Laura, did any final thoughts to top that off?
You know what? I can't add. I just want to say, don't feel powerless. Please don't feel powerless. Please don't be apathetic. You can still change it. Look at through our history. People have changed things. We're more big. There's a lot more of us than them. We can do this. Let's just unite. The fan channels, the Twitter channels, the Instagram channel. Everybody unite as fans, as Musa said. Not just Man United fans, Liverpool, as football-loving fans, throughout the whole pyramid system, through the different divisions, all of the local clubs in the surrounding area of Manchester, all around London, all around Liverpool. Let's try to save the game. Let's just try to win a bit of the power back from the vultures. The vultures will always have a tight hold of football, but let's just get that power balance back a little bit, because now they've gone too far. They've gone too far. They have gone too far. Come on. A City, that's what we need. It's in the comments there. A City united. Liverpool needs to be united. We need, all of us need to get together. And at the end of the day, all of these football fans associations, all of these football fans forums all have to come together. Like we said, we need to get millions out on the streets, mate. And then the government will have to do something. They will have to, because politicians are cynical. They want to be voted in next election. They're going to have to act and do something. They will have to do it. They will have to do it.
And in terms of the protests, you know, people want to know when and how.
We're putting the feelers out. We're going to put the feelers out. But I think Saturday will be a good day to go, just even if it's a couple of hundred of us to go there. Sort of Saturday just to say, no, not in my name. That's all you're saying. It's not about bringing thousands or millions. It's about saying, not in my name. Not in my name. And everybody to bring their season ticket and go, you can have this season ticket back and shove it up your backside. Ed Woodward and Glazers.
This is it, people. Football, man. You know what I mean? For the greed people. Super League greed. Straightjacket podcast. 120. You know what I mean? Who would have thought, man, after all these podcasts of shouting and arguments and all that will lead to this, man. Mr. Structure always said it, man. Until the structure of the top go, you know, Man United are absolutely finished, mate. Absolutely finished. But people, like the video, subscribe to Saeed TV. I'll be back tomorrow with another video, hopefully. But guys, Super League, man. Not in our name. Not in our name. Take care. Bye-bye. Peace.